Hello, I'm Connor Cosmano, and this is my final character assignment in character building for game design. Uh, Here's an example of some thumbnail sketches I did earlier in this project demonstrating some of the initial designs for the character. Because it's a robot, I went in and created various styles for pieces of the robot so that I could later come up with a final model because I wasn't sure what I wanted to look like. Here's a front and side sketch of the final design for my character. This is a low poly model I made in Blender. I decided to keep it very low poly so that I could do a lot of the heavy lifting in ZBrush and Substance Painter. Here is a video recording of my model in ZBrush. I separated some of the major pieces. Um, I separated some of the major pieces into chunks that I could reuse later to save up on UV space, and then brought the array of those pieces into ZBrush, which I then sculpted. I then individually exported these pieces as high poly FBX files and ported them back into Blender. Once these pieces were back into Blender, I re-exported the low and high poly FBXs from Blender and created individual Substance Painter projects for them, and I created a master material that could be used on every single object. This main material, as you can see in the side panel, contains different layers for colors, different grunge effects and some rust effects, as well as some colors for decals. Once I exported all of these Substance Painter textures as different textures, I imported them into Photoshop and combined them into one base color layer, one normal layer, and then one occlusion, roughness, and metallic layer. Once the texturing was done, I brought the materials into Blender and assigned each of the pieces that I designed to be reusable to the character, and then exported that as an FBX file. Once that FBX was exported from Blender, I brought it into Unreal Engine for the final renders, and I called it good.